So thanks for coming out.
Well, thanks for coming.
And no, we've been working actually. It's really great, folks, that we've had a fantastic relationship with all the three riders. Right? We're really coming together, and as you can see, for folks from both Victoria and Spanish Gulf Islands are coming over, and we go over to their events. And I think, so where's Sharon? Sharon is Miss Liberal Vancouver Island. I hope, Sharon, you can come in. I don't know if that's the first
I'm in a long line.
but Sharon really has always worked tirelessly for us, and has been working hard as part of our election readiness co-chair. There's two others with her, and so Sharon is responsible for trying to make sure that we win and that BC turns red. How are you doing, Sharon? There you go. Yeah. In fact, I've got a lot of great news. The party has actually raised more money in the first half of this year than we raised all of last year. From what I heard today, that we actually raised more money in the last quarter than the Conservatives. Our membership is actually more than doubled, so we're beating the average in the party. Marilyn Moore, who's done a tremendous job, but sadly fractured her femur, her leg bone, and but she's doing well. I went to see her last week at home, and she's recuperating very, very well. But Marilyn and her team are working very, very hard to do this. I think in the future, the big question is, are we going to have an election or not, right? And I would ask, unofficially, if I can, those who like to see an early election this fall, you put up your hand. If you want to remain agnostic, that's okay. Those who like to see it in the spring.
What year? 2012? 2012, right here.
2017. The fall of this year. If you want to give me a sense of where we are. Conservatives, we're not quite sure where they are, but you probably received a couple of their missives in the mail, right? Yeah, they're highly intelligent, very specific, solution-oriented missions that are putting out with the fine hand of Mr. Harper on all of those. Well, this is really I think, quite a danger for us, but it's a waste of taxpayers' money in terms of what they should be doing. What we're trying to do is we've asked the party to come up with a plan of action to basically set out a narrative. And the narrative has to, I think, do two things. One is to let people know why they shouldn't vote for Mr. Harper or Mr. Layton. And secondly, articulate a very clear and comprehensive plan as to why people should vote for us. Our vision, our plan for our country, for our citizens. I think if we can do both of those things, that'll be great. I know what we've been doing here for a long time, as all of you know, and Athol is our head of our policy chair, and Jay Federick, our president, still on. And what we do with our policy team is that we go and offer and build amazing solutions for not only our community, but for our country. So we are a part of that, and we will continue to drive that forward. So we've been doing that, and in the riding, it's been pretty exciting because we've got some amazing plans we're building here. One of the things we put forward, we had in a National Post op-ed, is a center for the care of our Canadian Forces members and their families at Royal Roads, a center for excellence. That will take the best ideas from around the world as to how we can care for and deal with the array of challenges that our Canadian Forces members and their families have. And what's really amazing about this is that the former CEO of the Canadian Medical Association is now a professor at Royal Roads. And he saw this and he said, I want to work to help you. So we're pulling together a group of very high-profile people who want to be a part of this in the community. And if we do this, this has not been done anywhere in the world. So it's pretty exciting. And the other thing, I'll just close by this last little bit. Craig Farr School here, it's interesting that we're here, has really poor outcomes for the kids. If you went there at any one time, at least a third of the kids wouldn't be in school. and a lot of the kids have really poor outcomes. So what we pull together, we have a social worker from our community, a police liaison officer, and we put together an early learning Head Start program for kids that will dramatically change the outcomes for children like that. And we're trying to operationalize that here, and once we get it rolling, if we manage to do that, then we'll share that with everybody else. And so from us, we're going to lead in these areas. That's kind of, there's a lot of things. If you look at our website, David Anderson's wife Sandra said, wow, we saw your website, it's really new and improved. I said, we're always making it new and improved. And a lot of that has to do with Sean. Where's Sean O'Hara? Oh yeah, he's coming back. Sean is our past president, and he does a lot of our IT work with Jeff, who's an IT expert. And we're really trying to use new tools to be able to reach out to we're really pulling this together, and we're pulling this together, and by using these new IT tools that we have, we're going to reach out and spread our message. So that's basically what we're doing, and we go back in the middle of September for the battle. And I just want to really thank you very much for everybody being here today and the support that you've given us. Our team is growing. We do need to increase our members. Our goal is to have another 200 members signed up as soon as possible. If you know anybody who wants to sign up, or if you haven't signed up, I'd be really appreciative if you could do that. Because we need to get another 200 members to meet an objective that has been set by the party. So I'll just stop there, and if you have any questions, I'd be happy to answer them. And I won't tell you my hamburger recipe. In fact, I'll show you, it's my mother's recipe, and she emailed me and she said, well, how did the hamburger cooking go? I said, well, it didn't go well, but it wasn't due to the recipe, it was due to the cook.
You came second.
What if Mr. Harper brings forward some really objectionable legislative bills in September, and will the Liberal Party swallow them?
The poison pill that's going to be put forth in front of us in September, will we take it? I don't know the answer to that. We have to factor into the calculus of, is this issue so important to the public that we are obliged to do our duty to terminate this government. But it's not only in our hands, because the NDP and the Bloc both have to do this too. So I think it's safe to say that we'll be playing more hardball than we've played in the past. And the problem for us is if we're seen to be the instigators of another election at this point in time, that's the downside. And we're always weighing off that. I know the, for example, the issue of the dockyard workers and their pay increase. Basically what happened is that there was a negotiated settlement, binding offer, final offer arbitration that went to the, for our dockyard, civilian dockyard workers, who do a great job to keep our Navy afloat. And what happened is that the final offer arbitration set a certain amount. The government came and tore that up, which I think is illegal. So they're going to do a court challenge. But what the government slyly did is that they took that issue and plunked it in with the infrastructure budget, the stimulus package. So now we were left with a classic poison pill. If we don't support whatsoever tearing up, of course, that agreement. But if we terminate this bill, or we try to change it, then the bill would fall apart and there would be an election. So we swallowed that pill. And I know the dockyard workers are understandably angry about that, and I tried to tell them that this is a choice. It was a lesser of two evils. Defeat the government and have an election, and also not have a stimulus package at all, because it'd be possibly a new government regardless of who the party would be. And that stimulus package would only start going in this fall. In the midst of an economic crisis, that's not an option. So we chose what we believe was the lesser of evil. And I think it was a responsibility.